Hello, we're going to go over the course outcomes assessment process. It's been updated a little bit to hopefully be a little more user-friendly. Remember that this process must be completed for each of your courses. So everything we do in this video, you must do for each one of your courses, every term. So we're going to go ahead and click on the course, the first course that you want to assess. Scroll down and look for a module that's labeled Course Outcomes Assessment Process. Whoops, just like this. And then look, if you see that, you'll want to make sure that there's an assignment in there labeled Course Outcomes Assessment Process. Click to start. If you don't see those, we're going to go ahead and go to the Commons and import them. In the Commons, look for a featured course by me labeled Outcomes Assessment Import No Outcomes. Go ahead and click on that. And we're going to import this to your course. And all it's going to do is add a module with that assignment labeled Course Outcomes Assessment Process. Click to start. It will also rearrange your navigation menu a little bit, as I have it set up like I like it. So it'll do that. And then the last thing it will do it will probably turn off your front page. So if that's important to you to have this late in the term, be sure and turn that back on. Anyway, let's see here. Click Import Download. And then look for your course. If you have a long list of courses, you can use the search bar. Select your course and click Import into Course. This will take just a minute, maybe a couple minutes if you have a slow internet connection, but usually it just doesn't take long at all. Go back to your course. Scroll down and make sure you find your Course Outcomes Assessment Process. Click on the assignment labeled Course Outcomes Assessment Process. Click to start. At the top of the page, you'll find several links to resources. The video we're recording now will be posted in the instructional videos link. And then one of the two main things that has changed in this process is the narrative response tool, and that'll be linked at the bottom of the top of the assignment. So for now, we're going to scroll down. We're going to click plus rubric. You'll see a little example criterion. Go ahead and delete that with the little trash can. And then usually we'd click find outcome, but don't do that. We're going to click find a rubric. Scroll down and click on Tillamook Bay Community College. And then most of your scrolling is going to happen in this column. We're going to scroll down and find the course that you're working in. So I'm looking for CAS 133. Highlight that, and then, you click on it and it'll highlight it. And then in the next column, we're going to click Use this rubric. And as soon as we click this, it adds the rubric to your assignment and confirms it. Before you score your outcomes for each of your students, open up your CCOG and have that available as a reference. So go into Curriculum Resources, scroll down and find Approved CCOGs, and then find your subject area. So here's my CCOG for CAS 133. If I scroll down, you can see my outcomes are labeled CLO1, CLO2, CLO3, etc. And then if you scroll down and look at the rubric, you can see the outcomes are labeled CLO1, CLO2, CLO3. Not all of the outcomes in Canvas are populated with the description. We're working on that. So in case they aren't, you can reference your CCOG and match up the outcomes so that you know exactly what you're scoring. At this point, if you needed to, you could navigate away from the assignment and come back. If you want to finish this up, we're going to go ahead and click on Speedgrader in the top right. If you don't see Speedgrader, make sure that your assignment is published, and that button is right here next to the title. Once it's published, you might have to refresh your page, but then you can click on Speedgrader. Once you click on Speedgrader, for the first student, you'll click on View Rubric, and then use this gray bar to kind of resize it so you can view the whole rubric. Based on the criteria you're using, whether it's assignments from your course or that AACU value rubric, you're going to determine a score, a rating for each of these outcomes. And once you've done with that, click Save at the bottom. If you need to edit this, if you made a mistake like you entered scores like I just did, go ahead and click View Rubric again, and you can update those. And when you're done updating them, go ahead and click Save again, and you can move on to the next student. You can use arrow if you don't use, most of you probably use Speedgrader, but if you haven't used it before, use the arrows to navigate or the drop down to navigate to the next person. Once you're done scoring each of your students, go back to the main assignment page, click on the top link at the top, and we're going to scroll down to this narrative responses link. So click on that. It's really important that you completely submit each attempt. So at the end of each attempt, you submit, and then you're going to get a little pop-up that says submit again. It's really important that you do that, because otherwise, if you partially fill this out and then you go on to your next class and you click on this link again, it'll give you the same attempt that you were working on. So just super important. Please completely submit the quiz before you move on to the next course. Choose your term. Oops, I guess we're in winter. And fill out this question. It says course. That's going to be the course 133 because it won't automatically pull it in. And then there are a couple of narrative responses. What did you discover about student performance? What changes do you plan to implement to your course? And then if you've taught this course, if you've completed this process more than once, if you implemented some changes, how did they go? All right. Answer all those and click submit. Yep. And then click submit again. And that's it. This course, this FR 2425, is available either on your dashboard or in courses. You can always go back and view your previous attempts. Where to go? Faculty Resources 2425. If you go into modules, go back to the Outcomes Assessment Narrative Responses, and you'll see your attempts listed. So I've made 2 attempts. And I can click on either of those and see what I wrote. And hopefully this will be helpful in the future. So just be careful with entering the correct information for your course and term, and then be 100% certain that you have submitted it completely before you go on to the next course. If for some reason you do not want this course to show up on your dashboard, click on Courses, and then All Courses, and then you can just unstar it if you don't want it to show up on your dashboard. I'm going to go ahead and restart it for her. And that's it. I hope this is a relatively straightforward process, but you can always contact me for help or to walk you through it completely. I'm happy to do that.